Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something we often misunderstand: beauty, specifically women, and what truly makes you beautiful. Now, I know what you might be expecting: a speech about appearances, about self care, about how beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I want to challenge that. I want to dig deeper because beauty, real beauty, isn't something that can be captured in a mirror. It's something you radiate when you live in alignment with your values. Women, you are not beautiful because of symmetry or smoothness or softness. You are beautiful because of strength, because of the courage to show up day after day when the world doesn't always make it easy. You are beautiful because of empathy, the kind that makes people feel seen and heard in your presence. And you are beautiful when you lead not with authority, but with authenticity. You see, society often tells women to chase perfection, but perfection is boring. It's predictable. It's stagnant. What's beautiful is growth, vulnerability, resilience. True beauty is not defined by appearance. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that beauty is only skin deep, that it can be quantified by how someone looks, how symmetrical their features are, or how smooth their skin feels to the touch. The world often tells us that beauty is about perfection, about following a certain mold that society has crafted for us. But real beauty, the kind that lasts and leaves an impact, is much deeper than what can be seen on the surface. In fact, beauty that is purely based on outward appearance is fleeting. It is momentary and shallow. It's like looking at a reflection in the water. It's there for a moment, but as soon as the water ripples, it disappears. True beauty, however, comes from within. It's about the energy a person brings into a room, the kindness they offer others, and the wisdom they share. It's the way someone makes you feel valued, heard, and understood. These are the things that leave a lasting impression. When we talk about true beauty, we are talking about the qualities that make a person truly unique. It's about how a woman's strength shines through even on the toughest days, how her ability to be vulnerable and open about her experiences connects her to others, and how her empathy and compassion elevate the lives of those around her. This is what makes a woman beautiful. These qualities cannot be captured in a photo or a magazine cover, and they cannot be replicated through makeup or clothes. They are intrinsic to who a person is and how they interact with the world. What makes someone beautiful is not how they look, but how they make others feel. When you walk into a room, your presence can uplift those around you, not because of how perfect you appear, but because of how comfortable you make others feel in your presence. Women who have the ability to listen deeply and connect authentically with others exude a beauty that is far beyond the physical. This is beauty that transcends surface level judgments and taps into something much more profound: the way we affect the world through our presence, our energy, and our actions. Moreover, true beauty is about authenticity. It's about having the courage to be yourself, even when the world tells you to be something else. Women are often pressured to conform to certain standards or ideals of beauty, yet the most beautiful women are those who break away from these expectations and embrace who they truly are. When a woman lives in alignment with her values, when she is unapologetically herself, she radiates a kind of beauty that cannot be replicated by any standard of the world. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws people in. It's the thing that makes someone stand out in a crowd, not because they are trying to be noticed, but because they are comfortable in their own skin. They are not pretending to be someone they're not, nor are they trying to fit a mold that someone else has created for them. Instead, they show up as their most real, most vulnerable selves, and in doing so, they allow others to feel safe enough to do the same. This is the kind of beauty that endures. It is the beauty of a woman who has lived through challenges, who has faced adversity and learned from it, and who has come out on the other side stronger and more compassionate. It is the beauty of a woman who does not measure her worth by the opinions of others, but by the way she chooses to live her life in service of her own values and those she loves. This is the beauty that doesn't fade with age or with changing trends. It is timeless because it is real. In the end, true beauty is not a product of how we look. It is the result of how we live and how we make others feel. It is found in our ability to love, to empathize, to lead with compassion, and to remain authentic to ourselves in a world that often wants us to be someone else. When we embrace this kind of beauty, we begin to see ourselves and others in a new light, one that transcends the superficial and reaches into the heart of who we truly are. And that is the beauty that lasts. True beauty is not just about how someone looks, It's about strength, resilience, and the courage to face life's challenges with grace. Women, in particular, are often praised for their beauty based on their outward appearance, but what truly makes a woman beautiful is her ability to endure, persevere, and rise above adversity. The kind of beauty that comes from strength isn't always visible to the eye, but it's undeniable. It's the quiet force that propels women to keep going, even when everything seems to be stacked against them. Strength is something that develops over time. It's built through experiences, both the joyful and the painful ones. Every challenge, every setback, every obstacle a woman faces adds to her reservoir of inner strength. This strength doesn't just come from physical endurance, it comes from emotional resilience and mental fortitude. It's the ability to stand firm in the face of fear and doubt, to keep pushing forward, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. It's the courage to speak up for what's right, to stand up for others, and to take action in the face of injustice. Women face a unique set of challenges in society. Whether it's the pressure to conform to certain beauty standards, the expectation to juggle multiple roles, or the barriers created by systemic inequalities, women are often faced with adversity. But instead of allowing these challenges to break them, they use them as fuel to grow. They adapt, they learn, and they evolve. They face hardships head on and come out stronger on the other side. This is what makes them truly beautiful: the ability to rise, to adapt, and to keep moving forward despite the obstacles in their path. Resilience is a key component of this strength. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after setbacks, to recover from hardships, and to find the strength to keep going when everything seems to be falling apart. A resilient woman doesn't just survive, she thrives. She finds ways to learn from her struggles, to grow from her failures, and to use them as stepping stones to something greater. The more resilient a woman becomes, the more she learns to trust in her own abilities and in her own inner strength. This trust is powerful. It empowers her to keep moving forward, even in the face of uncertainty, because she knows that no matter what happens, she will find a way to overcome it. One of the most remarkable things about a woman's strength is that it often comes without fanfare. It's not always loud or visible, but it's constant. It's the mother who works tirelessly to care for her children while balancing her career. It's the woman who takes on multiple roles, supporting her family, her community, and her career, often without recognition. It's the woman who stands up to injustice, even when it means going against the tide. It's the woman who keeps her head held high, even when life knocks her down, and who keeps showing up for the people she loves, even when she's exhausted. This strength is the kind of beauty that doesn't need to be flaunted. It is quietly powerful and deeply inspiring. Moreover, this strength is not just about surviving. It's about thriving in the face of adversity. The true beauty of a woman lies not in the ease with which she glides through life, but in how she rises after every fall. It's in how she continues to dream, to love, and to give even when life seems to demand so much from her. Strength is not about being invincible, it's about being vulnerable and yet still choosing to move forward with courage. What's truly beautiful about women is the way they carry their strength with grace. They don't let hardship define them, but instead they use it to fuel their growth. They don't let fear hold them back, but instead they allow it to teach them and help them evolve. Strength in women isn't something that can be seen on the outside, but it is something that can be felt deeply by those around them. It's the unspoken force that inspires others to be brave, to push through their own struggles, and to never give up. Ultimately, the strength of a woman is a quiet, constant reminder that beauty is not about how we look on the outside, but about the power we hold within ourselves to overcome life's challenges. This strength doesn't just make women beautiful, it makes them extraordinary. It's what allows them to be not just survivors, but warriors. And this strength, this resilience, is what truly makes a woman's beauty shine in ways that nothing superficial ever could. True beauty in women is not simply about physical appearance or outward accomplishments. It is about authenticity and the courage to lead from within. Authenticity is magnetic. It is the force that draws people in, not because someone is trying to be noticed, but because they are genuinely being themselves. When a woman leads with authenticity, she isn't trying to fit into a mold that society has crafted for her or live up to some ideal. Instead, she is living according to her own values, embracing her individuality, and leading with a sense of purpose that transcends appearances or expectations. Authenticity is not something that comes easily to everyone. In a world where we are often told what we should look like, what we should be doing, and how we should behave, it can be incredibly difficult to remain true to who we are. But authenticity is the very foundation of real beauty. It's what allows a woman to embrace her imperfections, her flaws, and her unique qualities without feeling the need to hide or apologize for them. It's about being at peace with who she is, regardless of societal pressures or external judgments. This peace comes from within, and it radiates outward in a way that is deeply beautiful. When a woman is authentic, she isn't performing for others or putting on a mask. She is living her truth, which is far more powerful than any superficial facade. The beauty of authenticity lies in its ability to foster connection. When you are true to yourself, people can sense that. They can see your integrity, your honesty, and your vulnerability. This makes others feel safe to do the same, to be open and honest with you in return. This type of genuine connection is where real beauty lies, when people can see you for who you truly are and appreciate you for it. Authentic leadership goes beyond managing others or holding power. It is about inspiring and empowering people by being a role model of honesty and self-assurance. Women who lead authentically do not seek to dominate or control. Instead, they lead by example. They create an environment where people feel valued, seen, and heard. They inspire others to be their best selves by showing up as their true selves. When a woman leads authentically, she creates a culture of trust and mutual respect. People follow her not because they feel obligated to, but because they believe in her vision, her values, and her genuine desire to make a difference. Being authentic also means embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest sources of strength. A woman who is willing to be vulnerable, who is willing to show her true emotions, her struggles, and her fears, demonstrates a kind of courage that is deeply inspiring. Vulnerability allows her to connect with others on a deeper level. It allows her to show that she is not perfect, but that she is human. This vulnerability is beautiful because it breaks down barriers and fosters empathy. It reminds us that we are all in this together, that we all have our struggles and our triumphs, and that none of us are alone in our journey. Perfection is often seen as the ultimate goal in our society. We're constantly bombarded with images, messages, and ideals that push us toward an unattainable standard of flawlessness. But the truth is, perfection is not beautiful. It's predictable. It's static. What's truly beautiful is growth, the ability to learn, evolve, and become more of who we are meant to be. True beauty comes from embracing the journey of growth, from accepting that we are always changing and developing, and that this process is not only okay, but essential. When we embrace growth, we acknowledge that we are not defined by our mistakes or our imperfections. Growth is about progress, not perfection. It's about taking each experience, good or bad, and using it to evolve into a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of ourselves. This mindset shifts the focus away from an idealized, unchanging version of perfection and toward an appreciation for the beautiful complexity of being human. It's not about being flawless, but about being real. It's about embracing the highs and lows, the successes and failures, and the moments in between that shape us into who we are. Growth often requires vulnerability. It requires us to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers, that we're not perfect, and that we are always learning. For many, this vulnerability is where true beauty begins. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we let go of the pressure to be perfect and make space for growth. We open ourselves up to learning new things, making mistakes, and growing from them. This willingness to be vulnerable in the face of uncertainty is a beautiful thing because it's the starting point of transformation. It's when we are willing to step outside our comfort zones, embrace the unknown, and make mistakes that we begin to grow in ways we never thought possible. For women, embracing growth means rejecting the pressure to conform to rigid standards of beauty, behavior, and success. It means recognizing that our value is not determined by how perfectly we meet these standards, but by our ability to grow and evolve. This growth can take many forms. It might be personal growth, learning more about ourselves, discovering our strengths and weaknesses, and using that knowledge to become better people. It might be emotional growth, developing the resilience to handle life's challenges with grace and compassion. It might be professional growth, taking on new opportunities, learning new skills, and expanding our horizons. Whatever the form, growth is what makes us beautiful, because it reflects our willingness to change, adapt, and improve. The journey of growth is often messy and unpredictable. It's not always linear, and it's rarely easy. There are moments of doubt, frustration, and failure along the way. But it's precisely in those moments that we find the depth of our beauty. The beauty of growth is found in the way we pick ourselves up after falling, the way we learn to see challenges as opportunities, and the way we become more compassionate toward ourselves and others through the process. Growth teaches us patience and resilience. It teaches us that it's okay to make mistakes because those mistakes are often our most valuable teachers. It reminds us that we don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love, success, and happiness. True beauty is found in this journey of growth. It's found in the ability to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead is uncertain or difficult. It's found in the courage to face our fears, to step into the unknown, and to take risks in the pursuit of our dreams. And it's found in the grace with which we handle setbacks and challenges, using them as stepping stones toward becoming the person we're meant to be. Women who embrace growth are beautiful because they are always evolving, always learning, and always striving to become the best version of themselves. This kind of beauty is not superficial or fleeting. It is deep, enduring, and powerful. In the end, the beauty of growth is that it never ends. There is always more to learn, more to discover, and more to experience. We are never truly finished, and that is something to celebrate. Growth is not about reaching a final destination, it's about the journey itself. It's about embracing the process of becoming. And that, more than any ideal of perfection, is what makes us truly beautiful. True beauty is not about fitting into societal expectations or seeking validation from external sources. It's about prioritizing purpose over popularity. In a world where success is often measured by the number of likes, followers, or the approval of others, real beauty is found in the ability to stay true to oneself and one's values, regardless of external pressures. Women who focus on purpose rather than popularity live with a sense of authenticity and deep fulfillment. They are not driven by the need to conform or be admired, but by the desire to create meaningful impact in their own lives and in the lives of those around them. Purpose-driven women don't measure their success by the opinions of others. They measure it by how closely they align their actions with their core values, by the positive impact they have on the people around them, and by the sense of fulfillment they derive from living authentically. Whether it's through their work, their relationships, or their personal projects, they are committed to creating a life that reflects who they truly are rather than seeking approval from outside sources. This sense of purpose provides a solid foundation for their lives, allowing them to stay grounded even when faced with challenges or setbacks. When women choose purpose over popularity, they also choose to embrace their individuality. In a society that often tells women to fit into certain molds, it takes great courage to break free from those expectations and to pursue what truly resonates with the heart. Women who lead with purpose are not afraid to stand out. They are comfortable in their own skin and have the confidence to follow their own path, even if it's different from what others expect of them. This authenticity is magnetic. When a woman leads with purpose, she inspires others to do the same. Her confidence, rooted in a deep sense of self, encourages those around her to explore their own passions and to pursue their own purpose, regardless of societal expectations. Choosing purpose over popularity also allows women to build deeper and more meaningful relationships. In a world where surface-level connections are often the norm, purpose-driven women seek out relationships that are based on mutual respect, shared values, and authentic connection. They surround themselves with people who understand and support their journey, and they offer the same in return. These relationships are built on trust, empathy, and a shared desire to grow and improve together. This type of connection is far more fulfilling than the superficial relationships that are often built on appearances or social status. Furthermore, purpose-driven women are able to withstand the pressures of comparison that come with living in a world dominated by social media and external validation. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, especially when we are constantly bombarded with images of people who seem to have it all together. But when we focus on purpose rather than popularity, we stop measuring our worth against the achievements of others. Instead, we focus on our own journey, our own progress, and the impact we are making in the world. This shift in perspective frees us from the cycle of comparison and allows us to find peace in our own unique path. The beauty of living with purpose is that it brings a sense of clarity and direction. When we know what we stand for and what we are passionate about, it becomes easier to make decisions that align with our goals and values. Women who prioritize purpose over popularity are able to filter out distractions and focus on what truly matters to them. This sense of clarity gives them the confidence to pursue their dreams without being swayed by the opinions or expectations of others. It allows them to stay true to themselves no matter what the world around them might say. Ultimately, choosing purpose over popularity is about living a life that is true to who we are, rather than trying to meet the expectations of others. It's about prioritizing what truly matters and finding fulfillment in the journey, rather than seeking validation from external sources. Women who lead with purpose inspire those around them to do the same, creating a ripple effect of authenticity and meaning. Their beauty is found not in how they conform, but in how they unapologetically embrace their own path and make a positive impact on the world. This kind of beauty is timeless, powerful, and deeply impactful, and it is what makes women truly beautiful. True beauty in women is often linked to the way they embrace their individuality, cultivating their unique qualities and honoring their sense of self. Authenticity is a source of power, and when a woman expresses her true self without fear of judgment or rejection, it fosters a deep sense of respect, admiration, and confidence, both within herself and in others. Women who are able to embrace their individuality are often those who stand out in the most inspiring ways, not because they are trying to be seen, but because they are unapologetically and genuinely themselves. Society often places heavy expectations on women, urging them to conform to rigid standards of beauty, behavior, and success. There are constant messages about what women should look like, how they should act, and what roles they should play. These societal expectations can create a great deal of pressure to fit into predefined molds. However, the women who refuse to shrink themselves to meet these standards are the ones who lead with real beauty. They are able to step away from the noise of societal pressure and instead focus on honoring their true nature. It's in their ability to defy these expectations and embrace their individuality that their most radiant qualities shine through. Embracing individuality means refusing to let anyone dictate your worth. It means acknowledging that your uniqueness is valuable and that your experiences, perspectives, and dreams are valid. Every woman has a different story, a different path, and different aspirations. The beauty lies in how each woman chooses to live her truth and make her own mark on the world. When women embrace their individuality, they become role models for others to do the same. They inspire confidence and encourage others to be true to themselves without fear of comparison or criticism. Being true to oneself also means acknowledging and accepting imperfections. No one is perfect, and embracing imperfection is a powerful act of self-love. Women who accept their flaws, whether physical, emotional, or mental, are able to see their imperfections not as weaknesses but as part of their unique journey. These flaws become part of their strength, making them more relatable and human. There is a unique beauty and vulnerability, the courage to expose one's flaws without shame. This authenticity is magnetic and powerful, drawing others in not because of an idealized version of themselves, but because of their willingness to show up as they truly are.